Hello everybody and welcome back to the good old Two Box Roulette series. We've done a few different maps now, and I do believe this is completely up to date, but we will be clicking the wheel a few times. I don't know if that actually changes anything, but we will see what map we'll be playing. And an interesting one, we're going to be playing Nacht, so Nacht und Toten. Uh, really cool to see a World at War map. We've had a lot of BO2. We've only done 3 episodes so far, but World at War so early is pretty interesting. I do think that this is going to be a pretty hard one. I think we're not going to get too far, but it could be really, really interesting. Obviously, it really just depends on what we actually get. However, World at War weapons, generally speaking, are better than every other baseline weapon from any game. So this could be really, really good. So let's get into the game and see how we go. And we are into Knock, and just such an iconic introduction to zombies. I feel like this is nowadays, because zombies is like such a big thing. Everything has to be super flashy, but like even just this, we can't skip that unfortunate word. But just like the idea of like, you beat the campaign, you drove the German forces back, you've won the war, but you thought that they were dead. You were wrong. That is like such a scary and cool freaking like little message. Now, yet again, I'm gonna turn the sound up because I'm not too sure how that all is going. Yeah, just to make sure that you guys can actually properly hear it. But so cool. Like, I feel like zombies as a whole either needs to be really dark or really cartoony. You can't have both. One or the other. And this started as trying to be dark and scary, and then it became a bit more quirky and funny, but still dark, which was the thing that was really good about it. And then what they did is, I feel like every single company other than was it Raven Soft, is what Ghosts is. They were the only ones to do their own thing. But essentially, like, the thing with it, right, is you have this game that's really good. You have BO1 that's really good. You have BO2 that's had a lot of hiccups. A lot. Like, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of things wrong with BO2. But it's also a pretty fun map. Like, a set of maps. Obviously, everyone will be like, oh yeah, you have Mob of the Dead, you have this, that. But, like, yeah. With World of War, every single map is good. Every single one of them is good. None of these maps could be considered, like, below a 5. And that's something that's pretty important in my opinion. I think it's like extremely important to think about that. Like, Transit is like a 2 out of 10 in my opinion. But like, Knock and all that shit, like, that's genuine fun to be had. Okay, well, we'll go back to knocking. Oh, fuck me, I guess. This is final zombie, and I'm gonna change my freaking ADS. It's so freaking overtuned. Controls. Look. I don't know why the mouse sensitivity is so high. But yeah, so all that long speech just to say that one, I really like Knock, but I really wish that new games that are like, oh, we're gonna be a new Call of Duty Zombies, they would really try to just straight up be like, we're gonna do things different instead of just being like, we're gonna rehash the same things you've been seeing all your life. Magnum, okay. This at least means we can probably get to round 10. I think we're getting to round 10. Nothing in the fog. But this map, one thing I thought was really funny was that there was a bunch of people doing videos and such that were Nacht doing like revisiting, you know, all these maps. And I thought it was so funny because it's like revisiting Knock, and I almost felt like making a meme video. Um, where I use maybe like, I don't know, a Pothos or just someone like using like one of their intros and then being like revisiting Knock. It's still Knock. You know what I mean? Um, just like as a funny little jab, not anything serious. Just because it would be kind of funny to have like, you know, a video where it's like, because the map hasn't changed. Like, I understand that most people, when they revisit zombie maps, it's like, oh, I'm gonna revisit zombie maps, and they play like Origins, and it's like, are you really revisiting anything? You're just playing the same stuff you always play. Oh, cool. I'll just take that. In this kind of challenge, it doesn't really matter. Man, I just really want there to be more stuff like this, though, where perks, yeah, add perks. Add like like I think perks and Pack-a-Punch are good for a game like this. Anyone who wants to steal my ideas, you can do it. I was thinking it'd be really cool to have a round-based zombie game, yada yada yada. But the way that it works is it's all about the starting system. So if you've played Call of Duty Ghosts, in that game you have this really cool system where your perks and things all have a point value. So your starting weapon, could be, like, let's say for this game, a pistol, the Kar98K, or like the M1 Garand. And it is all dependent on how many points you want to use. Like, let's say you have a max of 24 points. You can use those points to, like, level up your, like, you can make insta-kill, double the, like, work double, like, twice as much twice as much insta-kill. Double points become triple points, quad points, and you use points, like a point system, so you can kind of like tailor the game to how you want it to be. But like maybe you have to like unlock them or earn them with challenges. Like the challenges could be like, with a singular double points, earn 10,000 points, and then when you do that, you unlock like triple points. And then it's like within a single triple points, get like 100,000 points. It's like something crazy, and then that's how you get quad points. And it could be like something like, oh, get 100 kills with the Kar98K to be able to use it as a starting weapon. But you know, that uses more points, obviously. So instead of it being like, you know, a 1 point or 0 points for the starting pistol, it's now 2 points. And then, like, you know, you can use 4 points to start with the M1 Garand. So that way it's kind of like Ghosts gameplay, where it's like you have those hidden fangs or whatever, where you can use like them to like get you better starting things. So it's a bit more rogue-like instead of rogue. But then as well, you could like have a lot of cool shit with that as well. You can make the perks different, but also like have it that health goes up over time. So round 1 to 10, you have like 2 hits of health. Round 10 to 20, you have like 10 to 20, you have like, you know, more health. I think this Garand is basically useless at this point. Yeah, I'm gonna stop using it. But so you start with, you know, 2 hits, and it goes to 3 hits, then it goes to 4 hits. You can even make it 5 hits if you wanted to. But like, you know, 4 hits are basically BO2, BO1, Jug. Technically, this game is Jug 2. But yeah, I think that would be like really cool, right? Like, just have a system where the entire point of it is like, you know, as like, but those are the only things you get. As soon as you get to that, it's like done. You're done. Like, that's the only health you're getting. But then that way, because like every single time you play zombies, there's just this stupidity, kind of, especially when you get to the later maps. Hard, draw, hard 0, and then hard draw a hard one. But there's like this stupidity of like, oh, you gotta get jug, and like in the later games, like BO2 onwards, it feels a bit silly. Um, Also, it would be really sick for any like challenge ones that people do, where it's like, oh, starting room challenge. At least like if you could like do a starting room challenge, you start with like the M1 Grand, um, and like you could tailor your run to that. You could make it that max ammos, uh, like level 1 could just be it refills the ammo in your like reserve ammo, and then it does reserve ammo and the ammo in your current like thing as well. And then it could be like it also like gives you more ammo. Like it could be like this really cool little thing where it's like it's just always helping out. Ooh, okay. Okay. We gotta make a bit of use of this. But like something like that I think would be really cool, because like the problem is if you try to copy card zombies, you're just not gonna be able to do well. I think making it that there's like this system in place and you want to level up the system, but like it has maps like Knock, right? I think the most important thing is you have to have like a map like Knock. But maybe make it a bit more like interesting, like maybe make a Verrucht kind of map as your first map. Something that's like, a bit more there, you know what I mean? And if you want to make it like fun and crazy, then roll with that completely. Like I think the number one thing that needs to happen if you want to have like a really good zombies like is you gotta have a theme and you gotta roll with it. If you want to make something fun, don't give a shit about story. If you want to make a grand epic one, focus on that. But overall, the gameplay is like the number one thing. Like, gameplay number one, then it's about the story. I think honestly, like in a game like Zombies, like it's silly to even have to say, "Oh, remember that the story is the most important thing," because it's literally like an arcade game. It's meant to be like this like put in a quarter, you get a life, see how far you can go kind of thing. But that it's turned into so much more that it's kind of hard to forget what it actually started from. Which is why I think probably most people do come back to Knock in the World of War maps and like, I want to see like the small progression that this game series had and why people like it so much. And it's because, it just works so well because there was one thing they wanted to do and they did it well. And I think BO1 wanted to do a bit of like Easter eggs and have a bit of a story, and I think that worked really, really well too. Even though like Kino, probably because of time restraints, honestly, Kino didn't have much. Neither did 5. But you see with Ascension and all that there's like legitimate like care put into making like Easter eggs, and by the time you get to like Shangri-La, like there's some crazy ass Easter eggs in those games. Can't believe those didn't kill. I must have hit the legs. But like yeah, like that's what I mean. Like there's so much love and care. Like you have to focus on what you want to do. If you want to make a game really good and really leans into like the fun aspect, I would say do what I think. Not to be egotistical. I think like a game where it's like all focused on like creatability and like gameplay changes, because then you could do like challenges where it's like doing Car 98K only, or things like that, where it's like maybe you make different tiers, right? So like maybe it's like you have double points and you have triple points, but maybe instead of quad points you have double points, but like it lasts less time, but it happens more frequently. And then maybe that's what max ammo does. Like base max ammo refills your entire gun, both your magazine and your reserve. But then you can get quick max ammo, and quick max ammo only does reserve, but it comes out like more often. And you could have like this kind of like risk reward thing where you could have like the mega max ammo, and the mega max ammo is like comes around way less, but it gives you double the ammo. So if you're using a gun that maybe doesn't have much reserve ammo, you can actually double it. And then if you like, could you imagine like the Wonder Wolf or like Thunder Gun with double ammo for a longer period of time? That could be really useful. It's just stuff like that. Like, you know, there's always fun bits of creativity that you can pour into a system like that. And the thing that's fun is people always find really fun things, and because it's a single player game, you don't need to worry about balancing it. Obviously, yeah, balance is probably something you should think about a little bit, because you don't want the game to be too pushover easy, but it being too easy, you know, you just make the maps harder. And by harder, I don't mean like making them bad either. It's like, you know, don't purposely make a map hard and bullshit. But, you know, it's like the BO3 conundrum of, oh, we have so many things that make the game so fucking brain dead easy. How do we make it hard? Oh, we're gonna have like Zetsubo's Shima problem where it's like, you know, the Thrasher will just come up out of the ground where you are, insta down you, and now you're dead. You get telefragged in a fucking Call of Duty game. Fuck. That would've been so useful. But you know what I mean. Like, yeah. Fucking love. I love the fact that we're just like going at it with the Magnum. I love Magnums in games so much. They're never really like crazy cool. They're usually delegated as a like niche option, unless you're in the Resident Evil series where they're usually the best weapon but like have really bad ammo. But like, I love Magnums. Like, there's just something cool intrinsically, and I think Japanese game developers really know that. There's like something cool about having like a gun that you have to load each bullet to, but have it be like a pistol kind of thing. Because it means that every single time you shoot the gun, it's a more personal shot. It's like, yeah, I'm shooting you, but I'm shooting you purposely, you know. With a handgun or a machine gun, you're kind of just spraying, praying, or with a handgun, you're just like ding. Like, you know, you're like, oh, yeah, I'm gonna get you. But with like the Magnum, it's like, I got you. Oh, hello. It's one of those things where it feels way more personal. Which for a game like this is really like it's cool. Oh damn, we're getting to the point where we're gonna actually have to train around a bit. But yeah. I was talking to a friend because they were describing a new game that's coming out, something Ritual, Scar Ritual. And I was like, well, it does sound cool, but it does sound like there's probably gonna be some issues. Yeah, it's one of those interesting things. I wonder if we could like skip an entire round. But yeah, really fun. I really love these old games. I think I've made it very abundantly clear that I prefer older games than newer games when it comes to zombies. Mainly because there's just such a massive quality shift between them. Like, BO3 is the last good zombies game. Cold War had a lot of good things going for it, but the maps were just a total letdown. As well as the weapon system. I feel like with the idea of like battle royales and ever-changing gun lists, it kind of kills the a lot of the ability for these map designers to really create a cool like system of guns. Like, it almost usually only feels like the wonder weapon in a lot of these maps is like the thing that matters. Like, you play Buried, for instance, and not Buried, Origins, and you're like, oh damn, like the B23R has like extended mag. That's really cool. It actually has like 300 ammo and it does decent damage. Like, that's really cool. And like, you know, you tinker with it and like, it's not the best or anything, but that's really cool. And like, there's a lot of things like that, like extended mag, ACOG, AK-47U, so it has like 440, it has like 360, and you can buy the ammo off the wall too. Like, that's a really cool thing. But then you also have stuff where it's like, oh, but you have the stars, so it doesn't really matter. But like in Origins though, there's still kind of a reason to open the box, because it's like you have all these interesting different variants of guns. So you might actually like find one that's like, damn, the B230R is actually kind of cool. I'm gonna use that for like a run or two. And I'm dead. But yeah, I want to see more creativity, is mainly what I'm thinking. I think this is going to be it. Nacht is one of those maps where there's not really too much to do, but I do think 13 rounds with the Magnum, yeah, that's pretty good. I kind of got caught up in speaking. But yeah, I hope you all have a great time with that gameplay. And now we're going to go over to the leaderboard, and then I'll see you next time. So let's get over there. So, and well, there we go. Obviously, so for Nacht and Toten, we are in the 4th placement at the moment, yet again. Anything above round 10 is what we try to strive for so far, so then, you know, the video is a video. 13, you know, isn't that crazy. We only had the Magnum and the M1 Garand, so essentially we only had the Magnum for the entire time. But it's still a really fun gun, so hey, it's basically just a rehash of the Nacht and Toten video I did on the Magnum. But that is how a lot of these are going to go. You know, personally, I don't like to repeat content too much, but, you know, it's fun to do 2-box challenges because you don't know what you're going to get. And it could also mean that you have a cool pair-up of weapons as well. And I think that's the thing that we've been seeing is, like, you know, you have, like, this really cool, like, assault rifle and you have a sniper. You have, like, this, like, good rifle and you have this, like, RPG and you actually make use of it. Like, whoa. And then you have, like, this sniper and this LMG and now you have a Magnum. Like, this kind of like feels like a, like, you know, multiplayer kind of thing where you have like, oh, you have like, I have the rifle and then for my secondary I have the Magnum because why not? Like, that's kind of cool, you know what I mean? I'm really excited to see what the next maps have to offer. Yet again, Ascension 26. Technically, we had a Doris one that was 29, but Streamlabs killed it. But I'm very excited to see if we will get to around 30 on any of these. And yet again, if you want to see BO3 maps, please comment down below, because if you do and there's enough people, I'll go re-download BO3 and we'll do that. But with that for now, hope you all have an absolutely fantastic day, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.